Fish inherited the legacy of the Grateful Dead, a responsibility that includes playing a different set every night, constant jamming and experimenting, and being trailed across country by an adoring fan base that thinks its heroes can do no wrong. To be blunt, Fish could urinate in its fans' ears and tell them it's music. The fans, in turn, would be there with tape recorders to capture the moment. I think there's a lot of truth to that. If you're going to take a risk, sometimes you're going to play shit, you know? Mm-hmm. And somebody comes and they pay their $20 and you get up there and you play shit that one time, and then they're like, you know, well, this is terrible. These guys are urinating in the ears of the listeners, and they're happily lapping it up. But I don't think our fans do happily lap it up. I think what happens is they get on the internet and talk about how it was a bad show, you know? Mm-hmm. Todd, did you make them read bad reviews in front of the camera too, or just me?
Just you.
So funny, of all the people. That was my interview, was reading horrible reviews of us.
What do you mean? You had some on file?
No, he brought them.
You brought bad reviews?
They were funny. They were funny ones.
Yeah. Like what?
Quite funny. Like, for instance, there was one that said, Fish is now able to urinate in the audiences of their listeners.
Oh yeah, in the ears.
I
think I remember that.
It said Fish is now able to urinate in the ears of their listeners, and everyone will scream and yell and
I remember that
and cheer. And this guy was really pissed. Yeah, and this guy was saying that was exactly what we were doing, urinating in the ears of the audience.
Oh, was that from Indiana?
Entertainment Weekly.
Oh, really?
Glad you don't read interviews.
It was funny because I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, what an amazing job I have, you know? I get paid to urinate in people's ears. There's probably people in New York, you know, like high-priced hookers and stuff that get paid to do that, too.
Hey, they'll have to pay $22 to get their ears urinated in.
And I love doing it. And I love doing it, too. And I'm getting paid for it. And sometimes it's like critics, you know? What's the deal? It's like, sometimes it's almost like they're offended by the fact that so many people would be enjoying something that they don't like. Maybe I can't know, you know, whether what I'm playing is shit or not, you know? But what am I supposed to do about that, you know? I mean, I think it's great. You know, and obviously the people in the audience do. The rest of that review, the guy says, you know, they want to be like the Grateful Dead, but they're not. You know, and the Grateful Dead did this. That's what the other guy said at the end of that article. I kept reading. You know, he's like, you know, well, the Grateful Dead had this. I'm not the Grateful Dead. I don't care if the Grateful Dead had that, you know? There's aspects of the Grateful Dead that I love. There's aspects of, you know, Boston that I loved. But that's who I am, you know? I'm a child of the 70s, and that's kind of the point with people trying to be, oh, I'm going to be the next Jimi Hendrix, I'm going to be the next Jerry Garcia, whatever. You're not. You're 20 years younger. You didn't grow up listening to Del McCrory. You didn't grow up listening to blues. You grew up, I did, I'm saying this about me, you know, going to a high school in New Jersey, you know, or, you know, in 8th grade I was in New Jersey going to the mall, you know, and listening to what was on at the mall. And then I had to search out for some kind of depth. The suburban white, you know, kid is part of history, whether you like it or not, part of American music history. We are, take it or leave it. You know, it's happening. So to those critics, I just have to say, if you don't like it, that's tough shit, you know, because it's too late. Here we come.